books, books to write. And I love writing, I love telling the story, I love telling a narrative. Here are just some of the books that we've published over the last 4 years for authors who have wanted to tell their story. And I believe that there's a legacy inside of you that must live on after you've gone, in generations to come. When you said your final word and your final breath, your story lives on, and the knowledge and wisdom that you have inside of your head goes on to somebody else. So let me just give you a little bit of a breakdown of the kind of books that we cover. So we've got one here on money management. Barbara Anderson, this has been one of our most successful entrepreneurs. She is a vice president and she helps people to be financially literate. So definitely go and look her up. Amazing, amazing woman. Really a giver. We also feature a lot on Christian and gospel related books. So we've got here Praise and Praising by Deborah Ellison. She's a lovely author too. And Nicole Roberts, she's published 8 books with us. She's our top Christian author that we've got here at Peaches Publications. You will notice the different sizes that we have. So this is like an A5 size, and then we have pocketbook size, which is here. And then we've got these lovely workbooks over here. Just Write It. Just Write It was a workbook that I created to help authors, budding authors, would-be authors that want to tell their story and don't know how. There's a structure and a way to do it. You have to have a plan. If you don't plan, you're going to fail to plan. Okay? So in this workbook right here, Just Write It, I go over ways in which you can tell your story with a 24-hour special formula that's just for you. And inside of that formula, you'll learn about subtitles, headings, contents, copyrights, what is a good theme or topic to write about, how to begin writing, because it's a discipline, it's an art form that takes discipline, wisdom and determination in order to finish. So that's definitely something that you can get into, and this workbook is available on Amazon for those of you that want to purchase it and begin writing your journey, your story, telling the truth about who you are as an individual and not being afraid no more to be in the shadows. We've got our first cookbook over here by the Pepper Pot Kitchen. Really lovely lady, really lovely tasty foods. Very, very excited to have them on board. We also have a children's book here, My First Trip to the Gambia. That's the daughter, Michaela is the daughter of Davis J. Williams from Manhood Academy, so we're really excited to have him involved in the works that we're doing. He's doing amazing works as an author. He's featured on the BBC, Guardian newspaper, really spreading his wings. And he's got another book as well, which is down here, No Enemy Within. Now what's interesting about that book, even though it wasn't published by Peaches Publications, him and he and Wayne Jordan, they both came to a self-publishing workshop that we did about 3 years ago, and they learnt the skills to go forth and upload their books themselves. But a lot of the time our authors just want us to do it, so it just takes the headache off, and we prepare their covers and we prepare the manuscript and we typeset the manuscript and we give them a marketing plan that can help them. We help them, you know, set up with the launch, and we offer advice as well. So it's really quite exciting. We can't forget our author as well, Nicole Reed. She's here. So You Think I'm Superwoman, transitioning after divorce. Breakup is never easy, is it? Let's face it. And she's a lovely lady, and she's publishing her 3rd book with us. So I'm just really passionate about helping people to get their stories out there. I think it's vital, it's so important. The book publishing industry is so intricate that you definitely need somebody like myself as a coach to guide you along the way, and you will definitely know by the end of our session whether you want to write a book or not. It's about planning, it's about putting your ideas down onto paper, it's about saying what it is that you want to do and not being quiet about it anymore. It's about owning it and going forth and saying, yes, I've always had a desire to write, I've always had a desire to want to be an author. Well, now is the time. What are you waiting for? You've just got to get up and you've got to do it, and we'd love to help you at Peaches Publication. Myself and my team, we've got a dedicated staff, you know, wonderful proofreaders and editors on board, lovely assistant to help you with your needs and get you to write the book that's not just in your mind but onto paper. I'd love to hear from you. We're all over social media. You can visit our website. It's www.peachespublications.co.uk. Drop us a message. We're also on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. So if you go onto Instagram, put Peaches Publications, and you'll see a gold banner come up. That's us, because we like gold, we like royalty, we like luxury things. And the last social media link that I want to give you is on Facebook. So facebook.com/Peaches Publications. And you can look for me on Amazon. I've got books on there myself. Winston Duncan. You can see some of the books that I've done as well. And just be inspired along this journey. So I'd like to take the time to just thank you very much for tuning in and listening to what I had to say. And I really, really want to encourage you that this year is the year that you become an author. This year is the year that you put pen to paper and begin to write and tell your story to the world, worldwide. We're going global, Amazon, Kindle, all over the world, bestseller times. That's what it's all about. So thank you very much.
Woohoo! Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Happy days. I am so glad to have you all here. My goodness me. It's been a very, very busy day and an exciting day. And I'm just honored to get you on your book writing journey. My name is Winston Duncan. I am your host for this evening. I'll be facilitating this workshop. And what's really exciting is that if you've never written one sentence of your book, today is going to be the day that you're going to write it. Yay! Now, I have to give a high five out to Veronica Martin, OBE. She was the first here. 10-2. She was the first here. I'm going to have to think of a prize that I can give you. How about I send you a copy of our Pioneering Women Speak, Transformative Leaderships on the Rise. She says the early bird catches the worm. That's right. That's right. So I'm so glad to see you all. You could have been doing anything tonight, but you are here showing up to write your book, which is amazing. And we're going to have a pack session. So make sure you've got a cup of tea. Make sure that you have your pen and pad. And for those of you that have received your copy of the Just Write It workbook, giving it all away. Yeah, look at that. They're ready. They're ready. The book is already written. The book is already written. That's what I'm talking about. So I want you to get excited about your book journey, because there's going to be opportunities for us to come together and work together to bring this story to life. So get ready. It's going to be quite intense. And it is my absolute pleasure to have you here. So we are recording the event. If you don't want to be seen, that's understandable. Some of y'all are a little bit shy. Don't worry, just switch your camera off, but you can chat in the chat. And I will be opening up the chat a little bit later on, just to get some feedback from you all. Or if you've got some question and answers, I always think that it is important to connect and ask questions via the chat, or you can put your hand up and I can unmute you. I just want to make sure that we've got the room secured before we move on. So it's exciting times and we are going to get started. So I think about 70% of you I've never met before in my life. So I'm really excited about that, because it means that the message is getting out far and wide. And I'm touched, I'm humbled. I believe that writing your book is a legacy. Even authors that have written books are here, which is really kind of exciting, because that shows to me dedication and that shows commitment. So get excited. Alrighty, so I should be sharing my slides now. You should be able to see me on the screen. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am if we've not met before, when it decides to go big. Yay, there we go. Alrighty, so my name is Winston Duncan. I'm a book confidence coach, and I've been doing this for 7 years now. And I'm really passionate about getting people, men and women and children, to tell their stories, because a lot of the time our stories are marginalized and they don't get to the traditional publishing levels or standards that we would require. So it's just to shine the light on fantastic, amazing stories that have a strong narrative and it could be all different kinds of topics. Okay, then. So I've travelled around. Yeah, I'm a regular on BBC Radio London. I don't know if any of you've been to the head office, but yeah, they call me up to either go in or to attend awards or to talk about my books on air on the telephone, which is really cool. It says here I'm an author of 22 books. I should update that. It's 26. I also ghostwrite and support budding authors like yourself to tell their stories, because not everyone has the confidence to write their books. So myself and my team work in many ways. And on the left, that was at City Hall. And I've had a long-standing working relationship with The Voice, which is now, sadly, the only African Caribbean newspaper, but still they're representing and continue to support my work. Okay, so this is the Popcorn House. This was my first ever #1 bestseller, which is really cool. I'm so proud of these young people that I have worked with, and I am a 5 times #1 bestseller. There is a little formula that I teach as well to help yourselves become #1 bestseller as well. Thank you, Sandra. Congratulations. Why, thank you very much. You're making me blush. It's not easy, but you know, we got to keep knocking on those doors until they hear us, until they see us, until we become visible, because it is important and imperative that if you've got that seed inside of you to get that story out to the world. Yeah, I can see a nod there from Minister Geordie. Yes, yes. So my motivation is this: 7% of BAME main characters are in children's books. Now, again, I'm very naughty, should update my slides. Haven't done this for nearly a year, these types of workshops, because I've been so busy. It's actually 10%. So over the last 3 years, they have been improving on representation. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, you can look at the Reflecting Realities report. My community interest company is called the Look Like Me Book Challenge, and we provide workshops. We've recently been funded 20k from BBC Children in Need to create a book, which is going to be a book of poetry for young people, and we're going to have an open mic night. So if that's something that you want to get your young people involved, age group is between 7 and 18, and we'd love to support you, myself and my team. It's going to be amazing, and it's exciting times. These are just some of the books that I've written. So I have an alias. My alias for children's books is W.F. Duncan. You can have an alias too if you're writing 2 different genres, and this is what you call the Amazon Spotlight page. It's free to use. You can put your picture up, you can put videos up, as you can see, and you can also write your biography and your website on how to contact. And recently they've put up some blogs. I haven't used the blogs yet. I'm a little bit naughty, so I'm a little bit busy. So it's definitely something for you to look into. So this is some more press coverage of what I've done. I've told you a little bit about The Voice. This was their event on the left in Croydon Fairfield Hall. This is an amazing young man that we worked on the beginning of the Look Like Me Book Challenge, Sham J. He wrote a book called No Dad, Big Deal, and he's done some amazing work. He's become an award winner, and it's just about encouraging our young people to get out there and write. Now, if you, this is going to be an interesting one. Okay, so we've got some speaker issues. Maybe try your mobile phone. Oh dear. If you let's say everyone else should be hearing us, hopefully. Okay. If you've got any speaker issues, log back out, log back in. I don't know, but give it a try. So this lady in the middle, her name is Debbie Weeks Bernard. Now, I would like to say, I wonder if you know who she is. A lot of people don't. She's actually the Deputy Mayor of London. And she's invited the Look Like Me Book Challenge to do some work with them, which is really kind of cool. And we did Black History Month 2 years in a row, talking about, you know, children's book stories that we've worked with. And if you haven't heard about her, do check her out, because she's doing amazing work. And the London Mayor Assemble, I always go up there. They've moved address now, and they're doing an event for summer. which is going to be in Trafalgar Square. So look out for that and make sure you show out and attend. Alrighty, so my contact details are here. This is the Popcorn House. We changed the cover from the one that you saw earlier. And this, like I said, was our first ever #1, written with 30 young, inspiring children, which I'll just quickly show you. And this was the cohort of 7 to 12. And one of our guest speakers tonight, Marcia Brissett Bailey, she is actually the mum of 2 of our incredible young ambassadors. So she's going to be talking tonight about her experience. Okie dokie. Now we've got everybody in and settled. I am going to open up the chat so we can all sort of, you know, see and hear everything. Okay, so the chat is now open. Alrighty, so I'm sure you're excited to get cracking. What's really interesting to me is the variety of stories and topics that you have seen. So I just want to welcome you all here because you could have been anywhere out in the world and you're focused. So I've got a long list. Some of them are duplicates, but I just want to give you an idea of the variety in the room. So so the question is, what is your book about? So we have a memoir about my life to wholeness, about cancer, self-discovery, lived experience and self, travel, children's books, bees, that sounds interesting, Black skincare, personal development, poetry, historical novels. This was an interesting one. I've never heard of this before. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Build Dungson Roman. I had to Google this because I didn't quite know or was familiar. And it's a novel of from your formative years plus spiritual education. So we're all learning here today. No problem. I will definitely post my contacts. You will definitely be able to get hold of me. Yes, blessed evening to you as well, Veronica. And I'll post my contacts. Noel, don't worry. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, I don't think. But you never know in these times. Hey, so romance fiction novel, which is exciting, education, self-help mixed with autobiography. That's interesting. That is interesting. I wonder if that's going to be a workbook. I'll be interested to know more. More poetry, my Christian journey, walking with Christ. I do not know. That's okay. You might know at the end of this. Dating life as a single mum. That's really cool because I'm actually doing something really interesting in the dating arena, which I won't announce until the end when all the cameras are off and the lights have stopped flashing because it's a little bit of a secret, but I do feel happy to share it with you. This is my dating book. It's called He Loves Me Not, What to Do When Online Dating Hurts. Yeah, so I know a lot about that area. So that's a really good topic, really popular topic. Surviving domestic violence. Now, this is an interesting one because I have coached clients on these book subjects and they're quite heavy in terms of bringing up emotional trauma. So I have a worksheet that you can get support and counseling if you are struggling with this. So I think that is important to say that because when you're writing about these things, you have to support your mental health and your well-being. Alrighty, life, that's very broad. You need to break that down a bit, but it will be based on my experiences, life experiences, but the main one, which was a turning point. So a book about pivoting, that's always good. I definitely would say, if you can get the angles right. I'm nearly done through this list. It's a lot, I know, but I'm nearly there. So, autobiography, self-help, self-reflection, memoir. There's a difference between memoirs and autobiography. So if you're going to write one, be clear on what it is that you're doing. So autobiography is about your life story in chronological order, and I'm currently doing one about a Jamaican girl, a lovely, lovely lady in her 70s, and she's such an inspiration. This is her second book with me, and it talks about from her being in Jamaica all the way to coming to England. I think you say it, England. Oh, let's have some fun today. Why not? Okay, so divorce experience for women, good, life in general, life skills, contemporary fiction, my adversity to advantage story. Not sure what that means. My adversity to advantage story. Maybe talking about story for adversity, which is good. Poetry on self-empowerment and reflection on life, good. Non-description, don't know what that means. Bedroom memoirs. Now, erotica is one of Amazon's most popular genres. So you might be able to make some money out of that. Education in children, discovering yourself through adversity, undecided. You're sitting on the fence, eh? Creativity, mental health, and another undecided. Well, what's going on with the world? Maybe we can help you decide today. England, is that with an I? Thank you, Pastor Naruka. We will also be hearing from Pastor Naruka today, who is one of our clients, and along with Minister Judy, who's actually writing their first ever book, My Walk with Christ, and boy, has it been a journey. Anyway, let's crack on. So, what is your why? What is your why? So I'm going to bring up some slides. And this is an opportunity where you have to write in the chat for 60 seconds, and I will be timing you. Let's get it in its right place. What is your why? Why do you want to write a book? All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Right, you should hopefully be able to see that. Okay. So before we go into what is your why, let's start with, already done our introductions. Let's start with a question. What is the number one reason why your book has not been written? And be honest, pop that in the chat for me, please. What's the number one reason why your book has not been written? So let me give you 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, so 60 seconds starts now. Write in the chat for me. What's your number one reason? Why is your book not written? Do you not know where to start? Is it about budgeting? Why is it not written? Why is it not here? Number one reason. Oh gosh, chat's filling up. So let's see what we've got. Money. Okay, so I hear that a lot. We've got GoFundMe pages. I can put in a chat on how you can set up your GoFundMe page. In fact, Minister Judy and Pastor, Naruka, they set up a GoFundMe page. And I think they got maybe 600, might be more now, because I haven't looked at it in a while. But I've set up GoFundMe pages. That's how I started the Popcorn House. I got £1,200. Procrastination, fear, self-doubt. Oh, Alexis, do I need to give you a hug? Hug for Alexis. It's okay. That's timer is up. Timer is up. That's normal. Anything new is going to be fearful. So you're in the right place, and there's guidance. Not devoted to it yet. Yeah, that's honest, Veronica. I think what I'd advise you is to get yourself to a 7 out of 10. We don't work with anyone below that because it's just wasting your time and wasting your money. We have to have people that are proactive and can follow through. And there's ways that you can get your book done in terms of ghostwriting if you're too busy. So think about that. Yeah, lack of time. I like that. I like that. You've actually got it right. That's actually, on my slide. I've got it right here. Time poverty. Time poverty is the killer to your book writing dreams. It kills your book writing dreams. We got time to go to the Caribbean. We've got time to eat out. We've got time to buy Prada and Gucci, but have we got time to leave our legacy in a book for our family and friends? Think about that. Well done, Beverly. And I know you've got a Just Write It workbook. And for those that haven't received them yet, I've sent you a link digitally, so check your junk with the digital version so you can follow along. Time and guidance. Well, I'm a book confidence coach, Marsha, so I'm here to guide. Lack of confidence, yeah, I hear you, but you're doing so well, Pastor Naruka. Didn't have an idea. There's so many. We've got 99 ideas in the Just Write It workbook, which we're going to get to in a minute. So make sure you get on board with that. Not knowing the process from start to finish, you should have an idea by the end of the day. Negative self-talk. Hey, Andrea. Ah, it's so lovely to have you in here. We actually met in Chelsea Foundation event a little while ago that I was speaking at. So it's so good that you've full circled after a few years. Well done. Negative self-talk. Telling myself I cannot write. Who wants to read my book? Time. Well, I'm going to make a note to do a little affirmation because we want you writing today. Time management, good. Hello, Stedman. Very, very, I'm glad to see some gentlemen on here. It's very rare. Welcome. Because you need to express yourself, men. You need to not hold it up. The suicide rate is higher in men than it is in women. So, well done for coming. Give yourself a pat on the back, please. Amanda says, need to know how, not knowing the process from start to finish. You're welcome, Alexis. I'm glad to have you here as well. Do ghostwriting have the same passion? If they're good, Noel, if they're good, they should do. And what do I charge? Okay, we ain't going to talk about money right now. I just want to tap into your creativity, but I can charge a very nice, handsome sum for you because I know what I'm doing. So we can talk about that as well. Minister Judy's laughing at me. She does. She does. She does. All right. So it's about you. Let's see now. Okay, so what I want now to get you to do is, what is your why? So I'm going to ask some of you to, well, if you put your hand up, we can do an on mic, or if you're shy, just write it in the chat. So what is your why? So this is on page, let's see, 3. So if you've got your workbook, please go to page 3. Okay, so what is your why? Can you honestly list your top 10 reasons why you want to write a book? Is it for fame or recognition? Maybe you would like to earn an extra monthly income, or you may want to go on that fabulous holiday that you have been dreaming of. It is important for you to have clarity in the direction you want to go. You want your written work to go. Do you have some valuable knowledge which you would like to share with the world? Consider your why carefully and write down your truthful responses. I'm not going to ask you to do 10, but when you've got some quiet time, I think that you should do it. I just want one. I just want one, and I just want a main one. And I'm going to ask you to do that in 60 seconds, please. What is your why? Why do you want to write a book? If you'd like to speak and get for me to on mic you, then just raise your hand and I will do that. I will do that. Marcia Brissett Bailey, I'm gonna make you co-host, my lovely, because you've got some slides to share.
Okay.
All righty. So what is your why? Let's see. Oh, loads of messages coming in. No one don't want to talk to me though. It's all right. It's all right. I know you're shy. Let's go up. So
I don't mind sharing. I've still got mine from last time, so they're still there. I can share them.
Oh, okay. What you got your okay, brilliant. So let me read through some of these and then we'll get you to share. Marsha, if you don't have your workbook, check your email. I should have emailed it to you, but if you just brought it today, I might not have. But please do check your email. So time is up. I'll try and check that in a minute. All right. So love writing great stories. That's your why. Good. So you should do that. Never let cost be a barrier. It's free to write. It is absolutely free to write. Um, I don't have a workbook. Okay, we've just gone over that. Was my passion for skincare. So that's your why, your passion for skincare. Okay. So passion for helping people have radiant skin. Phrase it like that. Um, it's what I think about every day. Oh, lovely. Stedman, that's so poetic. Are you a poet? Is he a poet? Love that. My wife, others to learn from my experience in life through the events that have impacted my life. Oh, did you? Okay. So we got another workbook question. So what I did was I posted out all the workbooks. So you should have them. I believe that there was two today that joined and I emailed you the workbook, but I will go back and check if you've not had your workbook. If you've booked over a week ago, it should have been there. So not a problem. We can sort that out. If you've brought it, you've had to have paid for it. It was a paid ticket, a VIP ticket. Yeah. So if you've done that, then no problem. I'll put my details in the chat. Build my career to be a speaker and empower others, make money too. Yay, I like that. Cha-ching. One of my whys is to use my voice, story, experience, and to uplift and liberate others. Power to the people. You see, this voice is a unique voice. No one else ever has that voice but you. So use that as your blueprint into the world, not only to tell your story, but to leave your legacy. I'd love to be able to support you on this journey, and there'll be an opportunity for us to work together and get these books out. Alrighty, so part of the record for my family history on record for my children and my grandchildren and their children's children. Yeah, remember that. Author status and to share my journey. Good. There's nothing wrong in wanting the world to hear your story. People get really shy and coy about that, but please don't. Okay, I see your hand, Sister Marcia. We're going to go after Marcia Brissett and then we're going to move on. Share my creativity as a subnormal Black child. Oh, I'd love to know a little bit more about that, Noel. What does that mean? Has anybody heard that phrase, subnormal Black child? Oh, sometimes I think I'm not normal. Enjoy sharing my words to make people feel good. I feel good. Da, 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 da. All right, calm down. And to make a little change too. You're going to make a big change, Amanda. You're here, you're a change agent, whether you publish with us, whether you go elsewhere, you are here. And that is the change that you need to make. I am powerful. Where have you been, Winston? I've been right here. Where have you been? We're connected now. Alrighty, so we've got some really strong whys. We're going to hear from Marcia Brissett first. She's going to confuse me. I'm dyslexic, you know. Marcia Brissett first, then Sis Marcia. So, Marcia, read your list. Go.
One of the ones was about speaking engagement and workshops, legacy, passion, and empowering others to support them. That was some of the things I wrote when I started the workshop book. I just thought I'd share that. But I'll let Marcia go. That was quick.
That was quick, and you sound so confident. Alrighty, so Marcia, you on mic? Go.
Yeah, greetings. Yeah, so mine is we should never forget the past. So I want to write historical books about women, so that can even empower women in these days. Thank you.
Wonderful. Why should we never forget the past?
You see, we have to learn from the past because a lot of people, we don't want to be repeating each other. And if we know what some of our mothers went through, our mothers, then that can empower us in today's life.
Do you know what? I'm right there with you. And you sound like you've got a lot of passion and conviction. It's going to take dedication and it's going to take commitment. So I'm really glad that you have on board. Now, just because Noel's put his hand up, I am going to allow him to tell us what is his why and what is a subnormal child. Go for it, Noel. Just on mic for me. Can you? Let's see. You can't. Okay, no worries. Here we go. Try now.
Yeah, that's it. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Take it away.
Yes, he's asking what a subnormal child is. I was put in a school for special school for educationally subnormal children at the age of 6 because I have a condition called sickle cell. Do you hear that? Is it coming through?
Loud and clear.
I was in a documentary in May 2021 called Subnormal: A British Scandal. It's about what they did to us in the 60s and the 70s. I've never got a petition, but I was writing anyway from 6. But because they put me in the school, they didn't cater for it. So when I left school, I could read, but I couldn't write, couldn't add up. So I re-educated myself. I self-published my first picture book in 2013. I've written others, showing the process of self-publishing. I do writing classes at City Lit. Have you heard of City Lit?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Is that in Islington, isn't it?
No, it's City Lit is Holborn.
Oh, Holborn.
Holborn Tube Station.
Yeah, because I used to live on City Road.
Yeah, that's where Mary Blackman did a lot of her writing classes there.
Oh.
Yeah, I met her there. She done some of her books.
So the legend is amongst us. What was your first picture book about?
It's called Jake's Alien Adventures. I also did the website. So it's about a boy who meets a lonely boy who can't play outside, he's got a toothache, but he meets an alien called Woo. It takes him to his planet and he goes through the Milky Way and all that. He says what he likes about Earth is we're all different shapes, sizes, and colours.
So it sounds like a sci-fi. Drop the link into the chat. I'd love to have a look at that. So your topic, subnormal childhood, is that going to be a memoir or an autobiography?
I'm currently working on an autobiography with that as well.
Okay, and you want that to be traditionally published?
Yeah, most likely, because I mean, the picture book I've all my other stuff have been self-publishing. I'm looking for an agent for one of my books. But I've got a friend of mine, Maisie Barrett, who's on it also in a subnormal school. She's written 3 books. She's also in a documentary.
The Writer's Handbook. There is a list of international agents and agents at home. And the Writer's Handbook is a great resource for you to contact agents and publishers that would be interested. Just a side note before we move on, because we have a special guest speaker. The side note is that traditionally published authors' books will take anywhere between 2 to 3 years. So yeah, Marcia can give you a little insight because she had this experience. And your royalties, unless you're J.K. Rowling, will be 8 and 10%. So just keep that in mind, everyone, to be traditionally published. And the last thing that I would say is contact, I believe it's Random House. I have to follow it up because they have a specific department that just deals with African Caribbean stories. Hopefully she's still working there. I have an email link if that's something of interest to you.
Yeah, I can't stay the full length. How often do you do these sessions?
Not often. The next one that I'll be doing is marketing your book, probably in the next 2 months. But don't worry, there will be a replay because I had to adjust the time this evening. So I'll be sending the replay link out tomorrow, and we'll be doing a masterclass. It's a half-day masterclass, which I'm going to tell you about shortly after we hear Marcia. It's a half-day masterclass on putting and assembling your book together using the Just Write It workbook. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got my number in there because I can't stay the full session. But have you heard of Scooby? I'm always signing up to Scooby. Scooby's is like a American company. They put on seminars and stuff for writers, different genres.
No, but I'm always interested to learn what other people are doing.
Same.
So if you can send me the link, I will text you. And I'm really glad you came because a male author is very rare.
Yeah, it is.
You know, there's so much to do, and I don't just advise and publish books. I also just give general advice to people like yourself that are established and want to go further. So you might want to being an established author, you might want to get the Just Market It workbook, which is very thick, but it has some great ideas.
I've been through quite a lot of that. Market stalls, local bookshops in Tottenham.
We talk about not just one-to-one sales, but one to many. one to many. All right, so we're going to move on now, Noel. Thank you very
All right,
much
cool.
for
We'll
coming,
talk
and I
later,
wish
yeah.
you a good night. Yes, we will. I'll send you a text. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce this next lady to you. It's just dynamic, you know. I'm I'm delighted that she is here, and she's going to be talking to you about her experiences of us working together. She's got an amazing book out called Black, Brilliant and Dyslexic. It's an anthology, and I am in this book on chapter 7, and it was my first ever traditionally published piece of work. And Marcia Brissett has made it possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, please show us some hearts in the chat. She's also been featured in Forbes. I'm not in Forbes, but she's in Forbes. She's a bit shy about that. So, all right. Over to you, my sister.
So greetings. I know I have 10 minutes. So I'll try to keep to the 10 minutes. So my name is Marcia Brissett Bailey, and I'm going to just share a little bit of my book journey with you and how I became an author. And it really started with a vision when I was about 10, when my teachers told me I would never be academically able to achieve anything, and wanting to write, and had the passion of the poems of Maya Angelou, and thinking one day I really would want to do that. So that's where my vision started from when I was about 10 years old. But yeah, I was I guess the system made me feel like I wasn't able to do anything, and that mindset limited me at the time to feel like I couldn't do anything. But that's just the beginning of my journey. So I've worked in education for the last 30 years. I'm a careers advisor, and I've got an MA in special education. So my passion is around SEND, special educational needs. So when Noel was talking about subnormal, I knew very much what it was, and also about Steve McQueen, who done the small acts, and there was a whole section on subnormal, and I can really relate to that, being a child who was in SEND and being told I wouldn't be able to achieve. So that's very resonates with me, and that's one of the things when I wanted to write, I was very specific about the area, and my passion is around neurodiversity, dyslexia, and being a champion around that area. So that's just a little bit about me, and I've done a range of things, including what Winsome said has been in Forbes. But again, it's around that neurodiversity, and talk about dyslexia, which is what I am. I'm dyslexic, and it doesn't define me, but it's part of my I guess my lived experience. So let's see if the next slide will go. Bear with me, the slide hasn't moved. Yeah, there we go. So I've featured in all of these books in different ways. So from the beginning, talking about my dyslexic experience, and it just kind of sort of spiraled in people wanting me to share their experience, my experience through these books. You can see Pioneering Women Speak, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. And the last book at the end, you can see Black, Brilliant and Dyslexic is actually my book, which I edited, which Winsome, I really appreciate her being part of that story. It has 25 voices of Black experience of dyslexia and other co-occurring learning differences, dyspraxia, autism, ADHD. And it's really because I felt that I didn't hear my voice when I was growing up and I was diagnosed with dyslexia. I didn't see people who look like me, and our narratives can be different into that intersection, whether it's race, culture, community, and how that shows up for us and what our experience is. Many of the people who contributed to the book, they didn't get diagnosed until they were at university. What happens if you don't go to university? So it really shows those intersections, and I'm just really proud of it. I'm really proud that I've had people who contribute, and I feel really blessed by it. So that's just a little bit of my journey and what it's been a blessing to be part of. So I'm going to just move on. Yes, it works. So Winsome has talked about the Just Write It book. I really wanted to talk about it too, because I remember when I started my journey over 3 years ago, and I saw a class just like this saying, do you want to go into looking at writing? And I said, this is definitely for me. So I signed up, and then that's how I met Winsome. And one of the things that I did after that was sign up to a masterclass. And this book was one of the things that really guided me on my journey to becoming an author. It really got me to think about, which you've done today, just a little bit about my why, your why, which I just shared a little bit because I still got my book with all of my notes, and you probably can't see it, but it's still got my notes and my agreement that I signed to myself and the commitment that I made to write my book. And it just really guided me. I'm quite a visual learner, so it helped me to visualize and see and actually work through the book step by step. You can only be at your own pace, and I want to say that we have to be kind to ourselves. I've heard a lot of people saying why they haven't done it, and I hear that. My commitment to myself was that because I'm an early riser, I get up at 4, and I would be committed to doing a couple of hours before I start work to actually do whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is, if it was looking at the cover of the page or writing ideas down, but I touched my business, which I would say was my book, and that mattered to me. So I would make that commitment to myself in the mornings and still be able to show up, be there for my children, but make sure 2 to 3 hours I would be looking at my book in the mornings. But this Just Write It really gave me that vision and really helped me to even write about who am I as an author, and break down and be really specific. One of the things that I did is also as well, I took up the coaching that Winsome had, and we really kind of scaled down what it was that I had a vision to, do in terms of what my mission was. And I did want to be with a traditional publisher, and I wasn't shy about that because I felt I wanted to say, why not? Why couldn't I be with a publisher that was a publishing house? But I also knew I could write my books independently. So it was about choices, but that's what I wanted. And we really talked about, and I really looked at my why. And I'm really grateful for the journey that I've been on with Winsome and with the, the Peaches publication. So that's just a little bit about the Just Write It. So I recommend it. I really loved using that book and still look at it from time to time because I've got so many notes in there for new books as well. So I'm just going to really briefly talk about the Pioneering Women Speak, because while I was on the masterclass and the coaching, I also had the pleasure of being part of the Pioneering Women Speak, the volume 1. And this was an amazing opportunity to be with 8 other women and write an anthology. And that was my real first proper journey at writing my own books. It really helped me to sort of, while I was writing my book about being Black, brilliant and dyslexic, I was also writing this book. So who knew I could write 2 books at the same time? But as I said, it's that commitment of time. So Pioneering Women, it started with the eight women. We would have regular sessions to go through from the cover of the book, looking at the Amazon Central. We had a theme each time, even down to the colors and the theme of the book. And what it brought us together, and I think I made some notes here. I can't see the screen, but I think the first one might be about commitment. Yes. Commitment and vision. We worked together and we were really committed as a team to get this book and all the themes that went in it, because we've all got different stories within the book. So I would say that one of the things that helped me to really be clear is about the commitment to myself and also to the group, and my vision about why I wanted to be an author, why I wanted to tell a story that I feel everyone has a story to tell if you want to tell it. One-to-one support, which I mentioned, I had with Winsome, I had one-to-one, but I also had support with by peers in the group. We all have stories, and it was just amazing to be amongst so many women telling their story and their visions about what they wanted in their lives, and also the things that have happened in their life and the lived experience. Mentorship with each other, but also Winsome was great in providing her advice and support. An accountability buddy. So I just wanted to say, within the doing the Pioneering Women Speak, with our masterclass, we got accountability buddies, and I would really vouch if you had somebody or you get connected. I don't know if you will join the masterclass that Winsome does, but she tends to get you to have an accountability buddy. Somehow I matched up with a lady called Patricia, and so every Thursday at 7 o'clock in the morning, even if we didn't talk to each other, we would be online and writing for our book, and we were just accountable for each other. And that really worked for me for 2 years. we were accountable every Thursday at 7. It still comes up in my diary, and sometimes we do catch up. So the accountability buddy really was a great feature that Winsome shared, and got me working with a lovely lady called Patricia, who's also in Pioneering Women Speak. So when we joined in that journey, it was just like really organic, and we had a really good rapport and relationship, and still have actually. Time schedules, as I said to you, the Earlybird, waking up in the morning work for me. I'm not very good in the evenings in writing. Some people are awake in the evening. So it's looking at what works for you, how it works for you to fit in the time in, sometimes for a lot of us busy schedules, what works. It could be half an hour, it could be an hour, but it's scheduling that time and having that time schedule. What else have I, having a collective voice, and that's what I loved. Whatever themes we had, we really worked together, didn't we, Winsome? We really brought each other's ideas to the forefront and built confidence and self-esteem. For some of us, we never actually lectured or had done presentations, and for International Women's Day, we actually spoke individually and presented, and all of that being part of that together, that anthology, we built and support each other up. So we became kind of like a tribe of women working together and building on our strengths and building on our, I don't want to say weaknesses, but developing new skills. I'm going to see if there's anything else there. And we learned about marketing and communication, which I do have the book. I'm still working on this now. I'm an author, but the Just Market It is definitely something I'd recommend when you're on that next step of your journey. I'm not sure if there's anything else there, but to say thank you. But I can speak about being an author and my process of being with a publishing house. If anybody wants any questions or want me to sort of talk about that, Winsome, I hope that's, I'm so aware of the 10 minutes. I think that's what's drawing me, because I can talk for England. So I hope that gives you a snapshot of my experience. And it's been an amazing one, and it's been a phenomenal, because it's helped me to grow as a person. When you've been told to be small, and that's not just from the system, but culturally, sometimes we got to play it small, don't put all your business. There's all sorts of intersections, and I've had to learn to be able to just empower myself and find my voice. And this is part of my journey that I'm just thankful for. I'm going to stop talking there, but I'm happy to talk about the publishing experience. And you're right, Winsome, it was 2 years in the making to actually achieve my book with Jessica Kingsley Publishing House. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions there, and I hope everybody got something from that. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. See, I love someone that can stick to time. Time is the most precious thing that we have. We were on time for the cotton fields, so let's be on time for writing our books. 110%. Let's be on time. Beautiful. Thank you so much. We will have a question and answer session. So if you have a question for myself or for Marcia or for Pastor Naruka, then, you know, we'll get into that. Alrighty. So we've got a lot more to get on with. Get your pens and papers ready, because you are going to be writing your book. Yay. Alrighty. So I'm going to share my screen. Thank you so much, Marcia. That was beautiful. Marcia is committed, dedicated and focused, and she shows up. So definitely put the book link in the chat, and please go out and support her, because she also is working with the British Dyslexia Association. I think she's the chair. Is it the chair? Are you the chair of the board? You've got a nice position there, so it's really encouraging.
Was that me, Winsome? You was talking.
Yeah, we were in your magazine there, weren't we?
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of the BDA Cultural Perspective Committee. So I, just bring in the cultural perspective. And yes, I was the editor. And these are the things what happen when you start to believe in yourself and you start to write your stories. These things happen. So yes, I was the guest editor on the Contact magazine for the British Dyslexia Association.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So get your workbooks out. We're going to move now to page 4. So this is called Identifying Your Writer's Avatar. And I think that it's important for you to be really honest when I ask you, what do you think your avatar is? Just purely because this will help you to get your book out. All right. So identifying your writer's avatar. Having worked with authors for many years, I have identified and created the top 4 avatars that I encounter. Inevitably, you will fit into one of these avatars, which will help you to understand the way in which you write and in what way you can improve so that you can complete your book. Take a look at the descriptions and write the name of your avatar below. So we've got here the tomorrow writer. Someday I will write my book. The tomorrow writer has the best intentions but lacks commitment. They need to make a definitive decision to put pen to paper and to start writing. Now, I'm not going to call no names, but I know there's some tomorrow writers up in the building. And I'm all right with that if you're all right with it. Okay. Then we've got the proactive writer. I've completed my book. You've completed several books, Marcia, so well done to you. The proactive writer has tunnel vision when completing their book. They may be in danger of rushing their writing and would need to quality check their work periodically. So I've had one proactive writer, Nauza Kadoja. She wrote her book in 1 month. It was possible. We did the masterclass in a hotel called the Millennium Gloucestershire Hotel. It was an amazing day, an amazing time, and she was just on it. So it depends how committed you are to telling your story. So that is the proactive writer. Then we've got the tortoise writer. I know some of them. The tortoise writer says, slowly but surely, my book is being written. The tortoise writer writes at their own pace and will complete their book when they are good and ready. Writing is a labor of love, and they need to be mindful of major delays when writing. So we know that the tortoise ran the race, but that was just by being slow and steady. So sometimes it can take a couple years, and that's okay too. It's just what you want for your book, basically. And then the final one is the perfectionist writer. I have to say ouch when I say that one, because it really hurts to see y'all struggling. So the perfectionist writer is in danger of not completing their book. They need to be confident that their writing is fit for purpose and publish. Now, you've got it on the screen. Choose one. Are you the tomorrow writer, perfectionist writer, the tortoise writer, or the tomorrow writer? 1 minute starts now. Off you go. Let's see. Much gratitude, Marcia. That's really cool. She did good, didn't she? Right, what have we got? So we got the tortoise. Noel says that the link's not showing to the book, Marcia. Do you want to just double check it? We've got proactive, we've got a tortoise. Right now, I'm a tomorrow writer. That's very honest. Although I've been writing, that's cool. We work with tortoises. The tortoise. I am a proactive writer myself. 10 seconds left. Proactive, good, Sandra, well done. Thank you very much. Time is up. I think we might have a couple more. Byron, I've gone to your link. Is that for Emma's stories? I was looking at that today, funnily enough. Is that right? Is that the link that you've just shared, Emma's stories? Just confirm with me. I clicked on it. That's what it took me to. I believe that they're doing something with Sky Television. Is that right? Let me know, Byron. And if you're connected to the project, I'd also like to know. So yeah, proactive tomorrow. There's a song. If tomorrow never comes, will you ever write your book? Just made that up. Right. Perfectionist. Okay, so we've got a little mix. We've got a little mix, and that's okay. I think once you know your avatar, it's going to make it easier for you to write. So keep continuing on in that vein and on that journey. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready. Let's get to it. Let's get your book started. Now, we have an industry standard contents page. We're not going to be able to go through all of it today. Thank you for the message, Veronica. Maybe I didn't make that post public. I will just quickly check. It would help, wouldn't it? As soon as I sent it out to everyone. We're just going to get you started on the journey. Okay. It's just really important that we get you going. Right, so I've only made it to friends. Thank you so much, Veronica. I just love you. Alrighty, yay! It's public now, so you should be able to share the Facebook link. Let me see if I can put it in the chat as well. Yes. See, these are people looking out for me. Ready, so over to you now. I'm going to share my workbook here. And let's see. It's this one. And here it is. Oops.
If you haven't done so already.
Okay, right. So just write it. It's on page, let's see, the industry standards tables of contents page is on 15. And we will be covering this more in the masterclass on the 29th of April, and I do sincerely hope that you will join us, because I have a special offer just for a few of you who are serious about writing your books. So go to page 15 for me. Someone asked about genres and themes. So this is actually the 99 themes that you can look through on this workbook as well. So make sure you go through that too. Right. Here we go. So the section that we're going to look at today is going to be introduction or preface. So it's just a matter of your style and what you like to, call it. Preface is old school and introduction is more modern, trendy. So this is an introduction to the book where you will have the opportunity to give a book overview. Decide if you want to call this section a preface or introduction, as this is merely a matter of preference. Now, I know that some of you are at different stages, but the whole objective about this exercise for the next 5 minutes is just to begin. So you can say, I went to this workshop and now I'm an author, which is really kind of cool, right? So we want you to begin this process and let it seed more and grow flowers during the summer. So if you've already started, you've got your introduction, then I want you to write your about the author page, which is here. And about the author page, this is a mini biography which tells the readers about who you are and what you do. You can have this section with or without a picture. It's optional. However, for identification purposes and publicity, we do recommend a professional picture inserted in the section of your book. So you have a choice of two. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock right now. Get your notebooks, get your workbooks. There is a section in there. There are notes at the back, and you're just going to begin to what? Just write it. Okay. I'll be answering some questions in the chat if you're a little bit stuck. And I will put my contact details, because somebody did ask me to do that. So I will put my contact details in the chat. Your 5 minutes starts now. You have 1 minute remaining, so just try and wrap up your last sentence. It flies by, doesn't it? Alrighty. Time is up, time is up, time is up. Jeez. I'm so excited for you because now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the page that you can call yourself an author on. This is from this day forth that you are a writer. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, so I'm looking for just 2 people just to tell me how they feel about the process. So you can put your hand up. Let me do the mic function. So now you are able to unmute yourself. Who's going to be it? You're going to put your hand up? Is anyone scared? Come on in, tell us, tell us. Who can it be? Are you all shy? No need to be shy. Does anyone want to share? What was that like, that experience writing down your book? I think they're all shy, Marcia. I hope you was writing your 6th book.
I was.
Good, good, good. All right, I think some of you are shy, so let's not worry. And I know it is late, we'll be wrapping up soon. But congratulations, because this is what we're going to help work with you on throughout the process of getting this done. And I think you're here, you're focused. And once again, apologies for the time change, but I had an event that clashed. So I had to just try and make it work, and I didn't want to make it another day in case everyone couldn't make it. So it is really, really a privilege. So I hope you're feeling good about getting your words down. I'm just going to share with you an opportunity that I just have for just a select few of you who are committed to this process. And this is the masterclass opportunity that we have, which is called Tell Your Story, Write Your Book. And we're going to be teaching this masterclass on Saturday, the 29th of April. That's in about 2 weeks' time. So you've got enough time to calm down your nerves. And it's a 4-hour masterclass with a small break in the middle. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over 7 ways to write your book. So to create your professional industry standards contents page, which you touched on a little bit today and started your introduction. We're going to devise 10 effective working chapter headings. We got to put the book in order. We say to start off with 10 chapter headings, 100 pages, 10,000 words, just to start you off, to give you a bit of perspective. We're also going to help you to choose a best-selling book title and title, because sometimes people have these titles, which they think is great, but then the subtitle doesn't tell and connect to the title. So that's important. Selecting your book size. I don't know if any of you have thought about your book size, but I think that's a very important thing to do, especially if your book is scanned. You might want to write more volume. Discover your writer's avatar, which we've touched on, but we're going to delve in a little bit deeper into the blocks of that. Select your book genre. Someone asked me about that today, and identify your book themes, which we've covered within the workbook. And you will get a digital copy of the workbook to accompany this session. Why should you attend this workshop? Well, you can achieve and accomplish your lifelong dream of writing a book, leave your legacy in text for the next generation. Writing a book is a great additional income. Use your book to upsell your business products and services, which I know a lot of you have got. Writing your book gives you an instant expert recognition and appeal, Ms. Veronica. Your book is your calling card for your business services, which is important. And you're going to expand your marketing and promotional opportunities like you've seen Marcia done. Remember, she's in Forbes. I'm not in Forbes, but she's in Forbes, yay. And increase your public speaking engagement. So you've met me, you know what I do. And I just think that it's really important to continue on this journey, and I would love to continue on this journey with you. So I'm going to pop this into the chat. I've only got 10 early bird tickets, and they're £99. Normal price is £149. So we know we're coming up to a recession, so we know we've got to save the pennies. So if you're up for a bargain, and if you more believe in your journey and this is the right time, the energy is right, the synergy is right, then get on board. This offer is only available for the next 24 hours, and then we're going to go to the full standard ticket price. And I want to just share with you in this opportunity, I've just popped the link in the chat. This young man, his name is Wayne Bailey, aka Mr. Bantam. He wrote a book called Way Back Then, Street Poetry in Motion. He wanted to write this book since 2004. This young man was 44. There's his picture. And in his about the author, it says, Wayne Bailey is a debut author who grew up in the tough streets of East London. He started writing his poetry on the 2nd of May 2004. This was at my home, and developed a passion for writing and reciting his work. Spoken word gave him an opportunity to express his emotions that he felt at the time. His vision is for this book to be heard worldwide and to inspire others, particularly the man them. You hear that, Noel? You hear that, Alexis? Big up, Byron. Particularly the man them, to use writing as a form of release. Sadly, on the 17th of May 2022, Wayne Bailey died. His death is questionable and suspicious, and he's actually my cousin. And he passed away on the day that I published his book. Whew. Yeah. But he was passionate. He set up a GoFundMe page and got nearly £1,000 to get support, to get help. And when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is so serious that if you feel that unction inside of you to get your stories out, grab this opportunity with both hands. He's not got an opportunity to sign or share his books. That's been taken away at age 44. So this is why I do what I do. This is why it's just paramount to tell your story and to write your book. I'd love to support you on this journey, and I've put the details in the chat. That was a little bit emotional. Now we're going to do question and answer session in just a sec, but we're just going to ask Pastor Naruka White, aka the Laughing Lady, to come on up and just talk a little bit about her experience for the next couple of minutes. And then whatever questions that you want to ask myself and Marcia, we'd be more than happy to take. So please unmute your mic Pastor Niruka. Hello, hello, huh? Unmute your mic for me.
Hi, Winsome. Hi. Yes, it wasn't unmuting. Sorry,
There
please
we go.
excuse me not being on camera.
It's all good. Take it away.
Oh, good evening, everyone. It's great to be here with you all. And I just want to big up Winsome. You know, it's amazing, wonderful. The day I was introduced to Winsome, when we were having this, you know, dream, Minister Judy and myself, when we decided to come together and to write our book. So I'm so grateful to Winsome for the way that she has. Let me just start at the top. I love the expression budding author. Thank you, Winsome, for coining that phrase. Hearing myself being referred to as a budding author served to make my decision to finally take the leap into writing and publishing a book considerably more real, yet unpressured. I'm so very grateful to Winsome for the way that she has come alongside Minister Judy and myself and helped to build our confidence by the way that she directed us in how to write our book. With butterflies fluttering in our stomachs, sweaty hands, we opened our Just Write It workbooks. Winsome guided us through the first parts of writing with such expert ease that made the process really enjoyable. Although we are completely inexperienced, the outline was really done very quickly. And this raised our confidence and belief in our ability to finish well. I just want to say thank you, Winsome, for being available to support us every step of the way. Even when you have been unwell or experiencing life-changing events, you have made sure that we receive the support that we need, and we are truly, truly grateful. Now we are almost at the end and are so excited, surprised, and thankful for the skillful, patient way you have guided us to this stage where we can read our own story in wonder. May God continue to bless and prosper you as you reach out to lift up other budding authors to just write it. God bless you. God bless you, Winsome, and thank you.
Amen. That was beautiful and inspiring. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to work with you. And thank you for your prayers and your covering. I feel so blessed. I really, really do. Alrighty, so let's get to some questions and answers, some answers and questions. I'm sure you've got loads. You can pop them in the chat. And myself and Marcia, are you still there, Marcia? Are you with us or you're with the wallet? Hey, girl. Don't be shy. Be forthcoming. Be forthright. This is an opportunity now. If there's something that you want us to explain, something that you're not sure about, pop it in the chat. Or you can on mic, just put your hand up, raised hand feature, and yeah, just use this opportunity to share with us your thoughts and your feelings. How did you find today's session? Have you got any burning questions? Talk to me, talk to me. They're a little shy, aren't they, Marcy? She's nodding.
Yeah.
What would you say is your top tip for overcoming shyness?
Just I don't know, just going for it, because I've had my moments of being shy, but you just gotta just dig deep and just go for it and just speak. It's a safe space, even though we're recording today, but we're very supportive of each other. So yeah. When that voice is saying, no, I can't speak, just say, You know what? I'm gonna speak.
Okay, try now, Amanda. Unmute your mic.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
there we go. Hello,
Help if
hello.
that feature was off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
Go for it. Shoot.
I just wanted to ask about ISBNs and where do we purchase them? Is there just that one place? Is it just Nielsen's, or can we get them somewhere else? And what do I do? I'm thinking of self-publishing.
Excellent. So that's a really good question. So ISBN is an international standard bar number. That's what Amanda's referring to. And if you are going to be your own publisher, I would suggest getting your own, because you'll be able to put the imprint of your publishing name on the platform, whether it's with Amazon, Ingram Sparks, Lulu. Mine is Peaches Publications, as you know, so you will see that imprint. Another way is to get a free ISBN given to you if you're using the platform on Amazon KDP. And the drawback with that is that you can't use that ISBN anywhere else. It's just on their platform and in their marketplace. So that does make it a little bit, difficult. But I would also suggest, if you are going to go down the route of being traditionally published, to get some advice on that, because you want a professional quality book. Very, very key. Professional quality book. ISBNs cost 169 for 10 on Nielsen's Book and Data, and they're really helpful, so do give them a call. For one singular one, it costs £89, but the prices might have gone up because prices always going up, isn't they, Marcia? So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's see, we've got a couple of things here in the chat. So my book idea seems to have multiple genres. What is the approximate max for multi-genre book? Okay, this is an interesting question. I would say you have to have one overarching genre, and that's going to help you with your marketing plan and your marketing targets. Okay, one of the things that I'm so baffled about is the fact that authors will spend thousands of pounds to publish their books, but when it comes to marketing it just goes out of the window. Now, if you go with KDP on Amazon, you will have an opportunity to choose categories, and this is what's really interesting. You'll have two categories that you've got to troll through and really, look through, because the way they've set it up, they haven't got a search feature. And then Amazon's going to pick your third category, which might not even be anything related to your book. So be mindful of that when and if you are uploading that with them. And also what you want to do as well is make sure that the genre that your book is in, the genre category, is quite niched and targeted so that you can get into the top 100s quicker. And that's a little thing that I teach in the Just Market It workbook. So hopefully that answers your question, Beverly. Marisha, hello. That's a pretty name, isn't it, Marcia? Okay, so I've really enjoyed the session. It's given me a wider knowledge into the aspects of writing. I thought you just told the story, but I think that's where I'm going wrong. So many ideas, no structure. Do you mind unmuting, Marisha, or are you a little bit shy? I just want to get a little bit. I see you, Stedman. We're going to come to you in just a sec. I just want to get a little bit more clarity of what the question is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, what are you asking me? Are you asking me how to structure a book?
Yeah, so basically it's like I've got, so my idea is like a series. So it's like one book that leads on to a follow-up book and another book telling kind of like a journey. But when I start the book, it's like I'm just trying to tell a story of a young lady, and it's so many ideas flowing around in terms of like different parts of the story. How do it's structuring it that is kind of throwing me off.
Is it a fiction book? Is it a novel book?
Yeah, romance fiction.
And how many is in the series?
Three books.
Okay, so Marcia, do you just want to talk about how you have structured your book, and then I'll feed in? Oops, it unmutes and then it goes, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try again. Try now. Oh dear, you got a glitch. I saw Ayana was on there. Maybe you don't have to go to her. I have no idea why it's doing it. Try one more time. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Marcia can't unmute. Maybe try Ayana's. Oh, that's a shame. All right, so I will no problem, Veronica. Thank you so much for coming. I hope to see you at the masterclass. Alrighty. Lessons. So yes, right. So to answer your question, start with just one book, because you could start with all three and then just not finish any. So it's really crucial that you just begin with one. And with that one, what you need to do is create a beginning, middle, and end. I actually talk about that feature here. Let's see, where is it? It's on page 22, and it's called Story Framework Overview. Now, a romance novel, that can take time.
Mm-hmm.
And it says here that sometimes writing the book can feel overwhelming, especially if you are in a full-time job, plus have a family with very little time to spare. We have made the workbook as simple as possible to help you write efficiently and effectively. You need to create a book brief outline to establish the direction of your manuscript. Creating a roadmap for completing your book will help you to finish quicker. You can write a paragraph or make bullet points in the following sections to plot your book sequences. This is not a lengthy task. Use it as a navigation map for your book and for making your ideas more concise. Your story framework should serve as a brief overview of the contents of your entire book. So how does it start?
Mm-hmm.
What's the middle? What's the climax? And how does it finish? So in the
Okay.
work here, we've got 3 sections, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. I
So,
see.
so this is what you would do to lay it out, and just focus on the one, and then the other ideas will come later.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That answer your question? Okay, great. So I love this name, Stedman. It reminds me of 5 Star. Do you remember that group back in the day? All fall down. Stedman was in there. So Stedman, hopefully you won't have problems on micing. Do you want to give it a try? Unmute your mic for me. And what's your question? Okay, your mic's open. Go for it. I heard something. Stedman, are you there? Right, I can't hear Stedman. Can anyone hear Stedman? We got some glitches. I don't know what to say. We can't hear you. Hello, hello. All right, maybe.
Hello. 1, 2, hello.
Hey,
Oh,
go for it.
After all that, I've forgotten the question. I suppose the difficulty I have, and it doesn't matter which genre or category, because it's poems, short stories, and I can never, like, I tried to write chapter 1 and I kept changing it. I never got to chapter 2. I did chapter 1 about 6 times.
So what writing avatar are you, Stedman?
About 3 of them.
I would say you're one of them, the perfectionist writer who never gets their book written.
Yeah, that's just me in everything.
And that's okay. That's okay. It's painful, but you're going to have to move on to chapter 2. Really and truly. I never get my authors to rewrite when they're writing the book. The editorial always comes after the book is completed, because otherwise we'll be here forever and a day. How long have you been writing for?
I'm not sure if I've actually started yet. So my idea, I cheated a bit and started writing poetry because it was shorter and I was able to finish. But I have no idea when I started, really. Couple of years.
Couple months? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, well, you're in the right place at the right time. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not really, 10 being 100%, how badly do you want to get this book out?
I haven't written it yet, but I'd say.
Well, you have, because you said that you've rewritten the first chapter 6 times.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, I have to get it out. Because I've got a lot of ideas. I've written 2 short stories as a test to see if I could actually write a full story, and that was okay.
Have you published them?
No.
Okay, so you definitely need some guidance, you definitely need some hand-holding, you definitely need some support, and that's what we can provide for you on the masterclass, because we're going to be going through structures, the full industry standard contents page, and I would suggest that you would fill out the other elements before you actually write the contents of your book, because it would make you feel like it's more assembled and it's fully formed. From this point on, you do need to call yourself an author, even if it's just 1 page rewritten 6 times, because you are on that journey. And Marcia's given us an amen nod. Definitely. So I hope that you are available on the 29th and you can come along and commit to that, because what you need to do is, like what I said to Marisha, was about having the overview, beginning, middle, and end. We need to set your chapter headings. Chapter 1 is this, chapter 1 is that, chapter 2 is this, and just be really clear about the storyline that you want to tell in the narrative. And you've got to ask yourself the question, do I really want to tell this story? Because something's obviously holding you back, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things is time. Another one has been just, I suppose, motivation. That's
what stops you from feeling motivated? Is it a lack of confidence?
Well, I don't feel a lack of motivation at the moment. I've only realized that it was affecting me now that I've come out of it.
Right. I see.
And yeah, it's one of those long stories and time and life and all that stuff. But now, within the last, I say, 2 to 3 months, I've realized what's been happening, and I'm sort of kicking everything, including myself, into gear.
Well, also on page 56, have you got a copy of the Just Write It workbook?
No, I didn't even know there was one before I came on.
Yeah. So on page 56, there's a section in here about writer's block. So I think that that's something that you need to go through in terms of completing this exercise on how to, can't really see it properly because of the light, but on how to surpass the writer's block and get to actually writing the meat of the story. So I'd be happy to guide and support you on your journey. I will be emailing everybody the information, and I'll send out the replays tomorrow. But well done for showing up. I think that's just part of the problem, you know. People don't show up, they just stay with the agony of this book, and we need more male voices. We need more male voices of color as well. So thank you very much. I do have a special announcement, so I'm going to stop streaming and I'm going to stop recording because it's quite dear to my heart. And thank you very much, Sister Marcia, for reminding me, because I nearly forgot. But yeah, so it's been a pleasure working with you all.
It's still recording, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know. I will stop it in just a sec. Might see some more of your lovely faces. It's been a pleasure working with you here today. Thank you so much for showing up. You've been anywhere, you know, everywhere from around the world, around the UK, and this is your time to tell your story, write your book, and to leave your legacy in print. No one's ever going to tell the story the way that you tell the story. So if you resonate with anything on here and you're connected to the content that you've been, take the bold step to go to the next level and to get started, because it's amazing, amazing journey. I'm so honored. I'd like to thank Marcia Brissett Bailey for contributing and talking about her experiences. And I'd also like to thank Pastor Naruka as well for coming in and sharing her journey, you know, and both very confident speakers. So let's stop streaming.